Hello, hello. Welcome into this free training that I am dropping here on Instagram, where I am giving you a front row seat and a playbook to my content growth framework. My name is Erin Trafford. I am an executive content strategist, and I have worked with dozens of brands at all levels, from solopreneurs, small businesses, right up to large corporations, on effective content strategy in today's digital market. And my secret sauce, and the sauce that I bring to all of my clients and all of my students, and that I want to bring to you today, is a way forward with your content that hooks in your strategic objectives into your business development. Because I always say, if you are just creating content for sake of creating content because some online guru told you to do it this way, you are going to burn out. The best thing you can do for your business is to start looking at your content like an asset, like something that should appreciate over time. And so when you work through this content growth framework, at every step of the way, you are going to give yourself checks and balances and decision-making abilities so that you can figure out what you want to do with your content and what you need your content to do for you and your business. So over the course of the next few videos, we are going to walk through my content growth framework, and I'm going to give you some really actionable tips, tricks, and advice on how you can take this away and go start implementing this in your business. FYI, this is exactly the process that I run through with my one-on-one clients, with my group clients, if you come to any of my live events, or if you are a production client at Story Studio Network. Because yes, I am also the co-founder and CEO of Canada's fastest growing podcast network. And I promise I'm going to do a whole other series of free trainings all about podcasting and how podcasting can fit into whatever content strategy you create. But right now, for sake of this video and for sake of this training and for sake of you, I want you to peel back this onion and let's focus on these foundational pieces so you can start to feel empowered and make really great decisions for you and for what you need in your business, okay? So content growth framework has 4 parts. Today, we're gonna focus on step number 1. And this is really important. This is where so many strategists and business owners, they leapfrog over this step. They jump right into planning, they jump right into creation, and then they wonder why their plan isn't working and why they don't have enough data to start making really good decisions. So I'm going to walk you through step 1 in this content growth framework. Step 1 is find, and you're going to be able to see this? Yes. Okay. Define. Okay. So now you're like, well, Erin, what are we finding and what are we defining? I thought that was the job of the plan. Well, here's what we need to find. Okay. We need to find what our true objective is. So we're going to find our true objective. And what do I mean by that? This is often revenue. It's often what you need your business, or you want, or you desire your business to make. So I'll start and I'll ask the question, what would you like your business to do for you in terms of revenue? Let's just, for hypothetical sake, say you want to create $10,000 a month in recurring revenue for your business because you're a solo operator, you're a service provider. That would really float your boat if you were able to make $10,000 a month, okay, in monthly recurring revenue. Okay, that is your goal. That is your objective. And a lot of sales coaches and online gurus will say, great, you want to make $10,000 a month. You are infinitely worthy. You are infinitely capable. Just keep being consistent and that $10,000 a month will happen. And okay, there may be a modicum of truth to that. That may be partially true, but you don't want to be putting gasoline in a place that it's not going to actually ignite. You want to get to that $10,000 a month in the most easeful way for you and for your business. And here's what a lot of people forget. It's not just about you and creating the business you want. It's actually building the audience or customer base that needs you. There are 2 sides to this equation, right? It's you and your business, and your audience and your customers' needs and expectations. Your content strategy and what we're gonna do together over the course of these videos is what builds the bridge between you and your business and how you want your life and money to flow, and your market, your audience, your customers, and their expectations and needs. A lot of coaches deal with part 1. A lot of coaches deal with part 2. You need to start actively thinking about how your content creates a bridge over the two so that there's constant communication and flow. That's what we're gonna do, okay? So let's pretend you wanna do the $10,000 monthly recurring revenue, okay? The next question you actually need to ask yourself is you need to get really, really real and say, what is my gap to goal, okay? What is this? What do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? What is the difference between that $10,000 goal and what you're currently bringing in every month? If you're bringing in $5,000, then the gap is 5, okay? If you're bringing in $2,000, then the gap is 8. You need to know that, okay? Then you need to assess this through the lens of what are you offering, okay? So your offers and your products and services, okay? You need to look at what you're offering the market. If you currently only have a service that is $300 for an hour of your time, or if you currently sell a widget that's $1.50, that's gonna make that $10,000 change. It means that you need to look at that strategically in a much different way because the volume, the other side of the bridge, your audience's desire, your customer expectations will change whether you're selling a $300 hour or a $1.50 widget, okay? This is where you have to start thinking, yes, my business, I only wanna sell $300 hours. I only wanna sell $10,000 packages. I only wanna sell this one thing. Okay, but does that match what the market is expecting? Get real about that. You need to ask these questions. And if there is a disconnect, what can you insert into your offer to help bridge that gap? Are you missing something in your offer suite that is going to get you closer to this goal while still being in alignment? Okay, I apologize. There's like a glare there on the screen, but that says offering products and services, okay? So once you have all of this, the last piece in finding your objective is defining your timeline. How long are you going to give yourself to close your gap to goal? So what is your timeline? A lot of online coaches and courses will tell you that you can easily launch a 6-figure launch or a course or whatever in 60 or 90 days. I'm gonna call bull on that because if you haven't properly cultivated your market demand or defined your audience's expectations, you are very likely not gonna hit that goal. In fact, I'm gonna say it's gonna be next to impossible to hit that goal. So what is your timeline? What runway are you giving yourself to close that gap? When you work with me, I work in spurts of 90 days, and I do that for a very specific reason. We actually map 30, plan for 90, and create specific pivot points within that 90 days based on the feedback we get from our audience. Your plan is not static and neither is your strategy. You need to know your timeline. So don't expect to come out of the gate 30 days, close the gap to goal. You can do that. You can go out and sell. But remember we put this thing here, MRR, monthly recurring revenue. You want this to be a repeatable process for you. You can go out and sell and fill up all your spots, but then are you going to have the capacity to fulfill all those contracts? If you're doing all of that, are you still going to be able to nurture new audiences and create new expectations? Probably not. So you might actually be shooting yourself in the foot by going out there and trying to oversell just to hit some random goal in some random timeline, okay? So that is step 1 of the find and define portion of the framework. Next, we're gonna move on to what happens next. You're like, oh my God, Erin, this is a lot of like brain work and like coming to reality and being really real about my business. Yes, but this is why your content strategy sucks, okay? It's because you're not doing this actual work in the background. You're buying Instagram templates. You're buying content strategy plans. You're looking at calendars and sticky notes, but you're not looking at it through the lens of business development. And this is where you want to start, okay? So just really running through this quickly. Finding your objective means, what do you want to create in your business on a monthly recurring basis? How do you look at that through the lens of what you are currently creating and the shortfall you have? What offers, products, and services do you have? And how many of those will you need to sell on a monthly basis to relieve the gap to goal? And then what's your timeline for closing the gap? Once you've gotten real on that, we'll move on to the next part of the find and define portion of the framework.